Good evening. Welcome to your Ass Hurts News Network. Coming to you live from the tip top of Cock Tower Square with your host, Sergeant Friday. Sarge, how you doing?
Well, there, Cletus, it's been a few days. I'm doing awesome. How about yourself?
I am doing as good as I can be, short of being you.
What are you calling me? Yeah, are you calling me short?
uh,
Just be calling me short. That's just ain't right.
uh,
Let's see here, bookmarks. I want to bring something up here so we uh here. This will be on a little bit on the driving home to people the power we have economically, and we're just a bunch of ignorant cocksuckers that don't know any better. Um, invite. No, present. We want to present.
well, at
Cheers.
least you let us all know right out the fucking gate that we're all a bunch of ignorant cocksuckers that don't know any better.
Yeah. Yeah, and
What's a good
listen, I
point?
can tell you that. Look, if you guys want some solace or you want some comfort, just remember there's 5.62 billion of you dumb motherfuckers out there. So hey, right? Ignorance loves company. There you go. Fucking unbelievable. Stop going to the Catholic Church. This is my tweet. Stop going to the Catholic Church, or at the very least, stop tithing to them. They're working against America and getting rich doing so. And here's how they're doing it. This person questions how does the revenue of the NGO, the Catholic Charity, nearly quadruple since the Biden administration took office? Well, they did it because they're the ones busing, housing, and moving these fucking illegal immigrants around your country. Catholic Charities in the name of godly actions. Really? How godly is it, you cocksuckers, while you're fucking raking in 200 and something fucking million a year?
Hmm.
You're doing this for God? Catholic Charities is they're on a mission from God. Who are they, the fucking Blues Brothers all of a sudden? Cletus?
You said the fucking Blues Brothers. Yeah, I mean that's a little fucking crazy,
That's
considering the
murder.
only coverage you see of illegals being transported is of government planes and buses and shit like that. When in fact it's the funding goes to 501c. I'm assuming. What the fuck? That's crazy as hell.
Dude,
Crazy.
it's insanity. How do I get this thing out here? Let's see if this will pop out. The revenue in 2021 is $217 million to these people. They had
Wow.
44 million in 2018. They've made 5 times whatever the fuck they were taking in. They went up to 146 million from 31 million in 2022 in one location. So more agreements between Catholic Charities and Baker Rapley for immigration, legal services, and data. These are the corporations and companies you need to go after, folks. I don't care if you're a fucking Catholic or not. Right? Your Catholic fucking church is destroying America, and they're being rewarded with huge sums of fucking money. And then you go to church and they want to pass the basket. Dude, I would take multiple baskets and build me a fucking cage and stick the fucking priest in it. You stupid motherfuckers! What is wrong with this country? When you've got your religious fucking organizations are turning against you. All from one county in Texas, 30 million and granted, 32.7 million from Harris County for the Department of Economic Equality. Catholic Charities is all over this, taking in all of this money. And I guarantee you they're going to say, well, it's the Christian Catholic thing to do. What would Jesus do if he was here? He'd tell you build a fucking walls. What he'd tell you to do? Do you think he wanted all them people trampling his fucking temple? Didn't he throw all these money grubbers out of the fucking temple? Right? Unfucking believable, man. We are the ultimate in victims. We play the victim card like a fucking, I don't even know, the best guitarist that's ever, like fucking Hendrix or anyone else you consider to be a great fucking guitar player. That's how well we play the victim card in this country. We're all a bunch of fucking victims.
No, it is, and it's like a downward spiral, right? Once you start down that fucking road, then everything makes you a victim. Everything you're a fucking victim of once you start becoming a victim.
You know, people ask the question, why is Harris County partnering with Catholic Charities for immigration and legal services? You know why. And you know, these statements, these titles, like they're cute. Like I see that all over the place. Breaking news, Harris quitting, breaking news, all for clicks. And we just keep rubbing in our faces how impotent we are. Nobody out there on the chart, like I'm going after the FBI and DOJ now on Twitter. They can suck my fucking cock. Okay? They show up to people's house asking them about guns, and I'm telling the people it's time to call the fucking police or round these fuckers up, put them in a car, and bring them down to the fucking barracks and throw them in jail. I don't give a fuck what badge they've got. The fuck are you to come to someone's house and question about what firearms may or may not be inside? Okay.
Well, we should just, go knock on the door of Homeland Security or ICE and say, well, what about these immigrants?
Right. And how about we start arresting the people that run Catholic Charities for treason? I mean, we are the government. Whether people realize you're not a democracy, you're a representative republic. It's completely different than a democracy. The only things they share in common is that they vote on stuff. That's it. But a democracy works on a majority. We don't have that here. We have a representative republic, period, end of story. And so in that situation, these people aren't, government isn't all powerful, but we act like they are. We've succumbed, we've submitted, we've like, oh.
Well, it's the victim thing to do.
Man, it's quite fucking sad. It is. We are victims, and all we talk about are newer outrages, right? What's the newest outrage of the week? Right?
Yeah.
All the shit they're doing to Trump in these courts, which is illegal. There literally is not a basis for a charge. And there should be a line of people that wraps around the fucking city of New York knocking on the district attorney's door. What the fuck are you doing, bro? What the fuck are you doing? You got migrants raping fucking people. You got children being sold into sex trafficking, right? You got gangs taking over fucking towns. You got Haitians chopping fucking ducks apart, eating cats and dogs. And you're trying to charge Trump with some business deal he did well beyond the statute of limitations? Come on. I don't. We are a fucking mess, man. We've been trained. We've been trained to be helpless, and so I think we play that role well. It's fucked up, man. Like why isn't everybody attacking Zuckerberg? Not physically, but at least verbally, and at least with emails and knocking on his door for the treason he committed during the 2020 election.
Yeah, has there been any other updates or outrage about that, or is that just sort of gone fucking bye-bye?
No, nothing.
Yeah, of course
nothing.
not.
Apparently you could be a traitor against your country and a new crisis will show up and that traitorship gets ignored. It gets put behind the 8 ball, and before it gets brought up again, there's 1,800 new tragedies and you're just kind of fucked, right?
Mark Zuckerberg admits to himself and members of of our government being fucking traitors. Oh, well, there's a hurricane coming. Let's look over here.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And that's, that's why I say there should be no way for anybody to run for a public office. That's kind of the title. Is there should be no corporate money. And there should be only taxpayer money allowed. But the taxpayer money there should be a tax on every good and service, a small tax, like 0.25%. One that we if you added it up at the end of the week, you'd be like, whatever. But paid every day by people. So you end up with, billions and billions of dollars that then you spread across the 50 states.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that wants to run for office would have to compete to be the candidate. And then once made the candidate, then you use taxpayer money to run, not corporate money. You got to get that money out of the system. If we can't get that money out of the system, then we as a nation, I don't think can ever really survive. I think we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. We're on a fucking teeter-totter. Your side fucks us up the ass with a great big fucking cucumber, and the other side tries to balance the port out and sticks a smaller cucumber up your ass, and then the board goes back the other way, and you get an even bigger cucumber stuck up your ass.
Before you know it, you're sitting on the top of Cock Tower.
And your name is Butthole Betty.
Might be around before
looking like the personification of the combination of cigarettes and bacon grease.
I don't mind that though.
I can't claim that one. I owe that to an unnamed person, but yeah, that came to that came in a little while ago, and I just thought that was fucking hilarious. So,
not only Catholics, no, but why aren't we targeting the Catholics, the Catholic organizations, not Catholic people? You still can believe in whatever you want religiously, but when your own religion turns on you, okay, you need to clean out the fucking hierarchy of the religion. There's nothing wrong with the religion or whatever values or morals or ethics that they have, tucked away in their fucking book. But when the very people running the organization sell you out for the money for their organization, then you no longer have an organization that's serving your needs. You need to, only you people within it can impact it. And so you need to dismantle it, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have to wait until all those kids were butt fucked before you realized priests were gay. I mean, how the fuck didn't people know that all along? That's always amazed me. What, that's a fucking surprise? A man that's never supposed to be with a woman? Well, and he's all around men. What do you think he's going to do, Cletus?
I don't know. Never really thought about it because I never thought about thought about becoming a priest, so I couldn't tell you. But it's a fair point. Right? It's a fair point. Fair point.
Right. That's the biggest. I think that was always the biggest problem with the church. I think it was like controlled by homosexuals, and that's why they didn't want women involved. And look, there's nothing wrong with being a homosexual, but there is when you cross the line and start fucking probing your peenie in boys that are underage. That's a fucking problem, right? And
well, I find it funny, right? You see, or I remember in 2020, right? There were some political religious advocates or whatever the word you want to use for them that were sort of being hushed, right? Because they were pro-Trump and this and that, and they were being hushed and shunned any which way they could. They were trying everything they could to shut them down. Yet you have an entire religious governmental organization influencing and capitalizing off of the government. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. It's not about the religion. It's about the corruption within a government and an organization, because I mean, let's make no bones about it, to have that much fucking money as an organization and you're funneling it into something like that, you are absolutely fucking corrupt.
Yeah, and they put that above the fucking whatever, and they'll I guarantee you they would come at you with a religious argument. These are humans too. They need a dignity, they need this, they need that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So why don't you go to fuck down there and bring it to them?
Well, and I don't disagree with that, but at the end of the day, hand them the fucking rule book for how to become legal citizens and send them the fuck back until they have the aspiration to become such. And then welcome. Come on in.
And who are you to tell, and who are you to fucking facilitate people coming and taking from us?
Yeah.
I mean, you aren't Robin Hood. You're the Catholic fucking Church. That's right. I don't need them to be Robin. I don't need any corporation or any religious outfit to be Robin fucking Hood for people. Look, if you can walk fucking 2,500 miles, you could have walked to your capital and dragged that motherfucker out that's oppressing you and gotten rid of him. Right?
Yeah.
You don't need guns. The fuck? You can make slingshots from the trees in the fucking forest. You can make bows and arrows. Imagine 40 or 50,000 people popping up with fucking bows and arrows and slingshots. I don't give a fuck how many guns you got. You better be behind cover because they're going to take you the fuck out, right? It's a numbers game. War is always a numbers game. What are they going to do? Nuke themselves? No. And so my point is, if you've got the tenacity to move that kind of distance on foot, as they claim, and it isn't on foot, the Catholic fucking charities, the Catholic fucking religious, your religions are doing this. And they're doing it all in the name of humanity. And I don't want people to be treated inhumanely, but that doesn't mean you're entitled to come covet my fucking shit. It's exactly what religion teaches you against. They're the coveters. You know what I mean by that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So those that covet, you're to stand up to that. You're to prevent that. You're not to allow that. And these fucking religions are promoting it. They are the ones that are coveting from you. And they're doing it in the name of helping people. Yeah, it's insane, man. It's sad. And as Americans, we're supposed to be standing up for ourselves and group. And there's a group, Catholics. I don't have nothing to do with you fucking people. Right? The Jews, I have nothing to do with you fucking people either. I don't know fuck what religion anybody's got. I have nothing to fucking do with any religion. That's your shit. But if you're part of one of these organizations and they're doing this, it's up to you to start pointing to others and get others involved and build a fucking group of people that are telling them, no, cut it out. And no leaders, Cletus. We're all fucking, it's like we're all chickens in a fucking hen house. And the foxes are running among us, and we're all trying to hide behind each other, hoping we're the last chicken eaten.
We're just trying to catch a little traction on that downward spiral. It's like the fucking slide at the playground, right? It's in a spiral, and you're trying like hell to fucking stay on it. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, I'll give you. You want to hear something fucked up? Listen, it's a completely unrelated story. So, you know, people tell you they're your friends and stuff like that, right? Or they act like you're their friend.
Mm-hmm.
So, this one person, I get cigarettes from a reservation. There's not a reservation not that far, about 40 minutes from where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And on there's multiple places that you can buy cigarettes. So when he goes to wherever he goes, and it ends up costing me roughly $40 a carton. Plus, I always throw $50 for them just going there. Even though I know they're going there whether they're getting anything from me or not, I want to cover the gas and whatever.
Yeah.
So if I buy 6 cartons with him, it's $240 plus 50 is $290 or $300, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's a friend. This girl I used to date goes there on a regular, and I ran into her, and so she's like, "Yeah, I go there all the time, anyways. I'll pick them up for you." And then, okay, so she goes out there, and she gets the same thing for $155, and then I throw her 50 for $195, $100 cheaper, right?
Yeah.
And I asked the other person that's supposed to be my friend. He's like, "Well, I go to a different place that charges more." I said, "Listen, they're all on the same reservation, you fucking jerk off. You can't drive around the corner and save me $100. The fuck kind of friend is that? What kind of favor is that? I don't need favors like that. Okay, you might as well just come over and bring the fucking dirt, the grass, and the fucking leaves and throw them on my living room floor and say, hey, what's going on?" Right? I vacuumed. You might as well just come and fucking dirty it up. That's what the vacuum's for. But this is what I mean. We're surrounded by each other doing this to each other. It's fucking incredible, man.
No, that's a fair analogy for sure.
And this is real life. It's a real life analogy. I would certainly drive a few extra miles within the bounds of we're not talking about one end of a reservation to another like the distance of America. We're talking about, you know, a few within a 5-mile radius. There's probably 10 different fucking smoke shops. You happen to find the only one that charges more for cigarettes than fucking the state of New York, and that's where you go get my shit. I'm supposed to believe that, right?
That's fucking funny.
Yeah. So he keeps, you know, oh, we're going out there this week. You need something? Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Fuck that. And I've said that to him. You can't drive around the corner and save me $100. Well, and he stutters and then changes the subject. Well, that answers the fucking question.
All right.
Because you're not spending $100 at the reservation. You're sticking it in your pocket, which, you know, just come out and tell me. I'll get you cigs at cost, but you got to give me $100 for my time.
Yeah.
I would have the right to say yes or no, right?
Yeah.
Don't lie and tell me you're paying $10 more a carton than she is. And if you are, goddamn it, then maybe you should drive a couple of miles to save me fucking $60. It's a tank of fucking gas, man. It's a lot of money when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Even though you don't get, but anyway, so I don't even know why I brought that up. I guess maybe because the receipt's sitting here, because now I got a receipt showing the actual cost of the cigarettes. The next time he asks me, texts me about it, I'm going to send him a picture on the phone and say, unless you're shopping here, I don't ever want you buying me cigarettes again.
Well, you brought it up because this is your Ass Hurts News Network, and that's what's making your ass hurt right now.
That made my ass hurt. I got a little fucking cringe in the ass.
Yeah.
So what's happening in true crime? I hear the Kohlberger case is going to be moved to a different county.
Yeah, it's she showed me a thing earlier. She showed me a thing earlier about that they've yet to determine where it's going to be, but that it has been that the change of venue has been granted. So
Good.
Yeah.
Maybe they ought to change judges too.
Maybe they ought to change suspects. I'm just saying, like, at this fucking point, I mean, why change venues? Why not just fucking dismiss it? Withdraw fucking charges.
Listen, it's here. Look, I think because this person over different times and years has done work for me, and they just start. They've been doing this for a while, and so I'm requesting a passion statement, and they weren't doing this in the very beginning. But people are strange. Even your friends are strange. If they know you got money, they do treat you sometimes differently. And or in some cases like this, they will look to their advantage with your money, even though they claim they're your friend. Employees will do that to you too if you don't keep an eye on them, right? You know that because you've had people working under you, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely.
And I just I don't know.
What is this comment?
People, huh?
What is this comment on the screen? Why are people cloning you? Where are you being cloned?
Oh, I don't know. I just put that up. Someone named Passion. Sergeant, can we block this imposter? Who is who's an imposter? Maybe don't be a cunt. Well, it's hard not to be a cunt, right? When you're surrounded by a bunch of fucking dicks. Someone's got to be a fucking cunt, okay? And there's 5.62 billion of you fucking dicks out there, right?
It's
that
whole
don't be a cunt. Yeah.
It's that whole even concept, right?
Yeah, everything life's got to even out or you're in trouble. I mean,
if you got 5.62 billion dicks, you got to have at least one cunt somewhere.
Yeah, and eventually you'll get dicked. I mean, it's just the fucking way it goes. I'm sorry. I'm not looking for it, but there you have it. And so I got to always be on guard from you fucking dicks. Unfucking believable. No, I think though in the election system, some way to eliminate corporate unlimited fucking money through 501 or 50C34s or whatever the fuck they are. These they put up hundreds of $millions and they campaign on behalf of a candidate without working with the candidate. It's separate. And these people then they're lobbyists and all of that down there. Look at what they did to us with the illness that came through. That according to YouTube, the censors on YouTube was not man-made, was not part of gain of function, and was absolutely you can't have a job if you don't do what we tell you. That's all fucking normal. That's the way the world is supposed to work because you are a bunch of whining fucking assholes, and we're in charge. And you just got to go along with that, or you'll be fucking erased, canceled, fucking deleted, blocked, right? And we all go along with it. We all should have stood up in unison and marched on Washington. Fuck you, man. I mean, thank God there's a ruling from the Supreme Court. They call it a Chevron ruling, where I mean, even OSHA was coming in and making those statements. If you don't do this, you don't do that, then you shouldn't be at a job site. Really? I don't know who you're asking me to block. I don't know who you're asking me to block, Ray Pearl. Who am I supposed to block? You got to give me people's names, right? Apparently, your people. No, see, this is what I mean. Apparently, you're pissing people off for them to do that. That's just fucking bullshit. People just do that because for whatever reason they've been fucking trained to do it. Oh, Ed J. Jordan. I don't see Jordan on here. I didn't do anything. What is she saying? Is that a boy or a girl? I don't fucking know. Are you a gender a specific fucking person or no? Because we don't go for that. I don't even know. So what did she say to her, Gray Pearl? And then where's the fucking queen of moderation? Stupid. Where's your never to be wife?
She's sitting here.
Huh.
playing her damn game. She ain't paying no attention. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Anyway,
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh, yeah, me either. I don't know what's going on either. We're kicking ass on that big job, though. It's been raining since fucking Friday, but from tomorrow for the next 10 to 14 days, we're supposed to get no rain. So that'll be sweet. Be able to wrap that shit up and get out of there. Cha-ching and move on.
Hell yeah. So you were talking before the show about your idea for removing corporate money from the election system and the campaigns, and you were saying a percentage of, a fucking 0.25% tax.
Right. That goes specifically to a fund for elections, and it gets divvied up equally, and people need to throw their ring in the hat and then come out and there's obviously got to be a chance to have 100 people throw their ring in the hat, but you could throw a few people and then they introduce themselves to the public and they tell you what they're going to do.
So then
the ads and stuff gets paid for by the public.
So then the question is, how would you control how the money is spent? And not really in terms of making sure that it only goes to campaign funds, but making sure that
all that's in place right now, Cletus. You wouldn't have to change any of the election laws or any of the election regulations.
Gotcha. So you're just controlling the money, the dollar amount based on spending,
but
on
you do an average, right?
So,
so let's say it costs $800 million to run for president. Each side gets $800 million. Do with it as you will, but make sure you got to keep receipts that can only be those rules already exist. So you do it that way, and then every year you give a few percent increase based on inflation. You indexed it to inflation, right? And then the candidates that get in there has to be also a limited amount of people that can campaign, and there needs to be a fund for that, so that these people can get on debate stages like you see them do and communicate to the public their views, and then you pick a candidate, and then your candidate for whatever party becomes your representative that then gets the money for that Senate seat or that congressional seat or whatever it might be. No, nothing would change except where the money comes from. And that to me would, I suspect, make them less likely to want to be influenced by outsiders. If they are influenced by outsiders by their votes as they're doing their job, the people that are paying for this fuck to get that job are also going to be paying attention to them and just won't reelect them again. You know what I mean? You really would have we would have our horse in the race that way. The way it is now, the only horse that's in the race is the big money.
Well, and that's where that's the only problem I see with it, right? Is the big money will still be there. Now I get it won't be corporate influence in it, but is that really the only problem that exists with it?
Well, if you got a job and I put up $100 million to ensure you get that job,
mm-hmm.
Right? Are you? If I ask you to vote for a fucking ordinance or a code, and you tell me no, are you going to get that $100 million next time? No. So get rid of that.
Yeah.
And give the candidates the choice. You're either going to run with corporate money or you're going to run with taxpayer subsidized money, or a combination of both. So if you want to use corporate and taxpayer, you get 10% of the amount this person's going to get from and they get the rest of your money. So you make it you make it advantageous for people to want to work. You're going to get a fucking job on the public dime. We need to interview you. We should incur that fucking expense. You shouldn't have to run around and beg, borrow, and steal to get that money to apply for that job, because you become beholden to all the people that you got the money from. It's common sense. We all realize this, right?
Well, and I think there's another problem that's right in front of us. Did the DNC ever officially name Kamala as their candidate?
No, nobody voted for that woman. Not a single person voted. I don't think she voted for herself when she had the chance.
Then that should be another issue as well, right? It should be a situation where she's, somebody in that position should not be a legitimate candidate on the ballot. Because if you're going to spend taxpayer money for campaign funds, you should earn the right to spend that campaign money by winning some type of election in the primary, like you're talking about.
Right. So you have the applicant interview process, which is the primary.
Right.
And then your people in your party or whatever you decide who you want to be your candidate. That candidate is then the funds to run for that position is released to that candidate.
Well, and that's why I asked the question, is that the only problem that exists, right? Because I see that as a big fucking huge issue to me. Why? Because essentially the parties themselves could put whoever they want up and it could still be corporate backed unless you know, and make a fucking example of Kamala and take her legitimacy as a candidate.
Well, in this race, you can't start with the current existing generation of situation. The point is the discussion of how politicians are funded to get jobs to represent us. They're the representative of you and I. We are the government, and they represent our interests.
Right.
And that no longer applies. They represent the interest of whoever can give them the most money to get them into that job. Because then once they're into that job, they cater to the people that gave them all that money. Right?
Yeah.
That's how it's working. Okay, you need to chop that off.
Yeah.
Right? You need to find a Haitian that's comfortable chopping the necks off of ducks, right? And get him involved in this. Because
what did you say? There was a video of a guy walking down the street and snatched a fucking duck. What did I forget what you said before we started?
There's Haitians in an Ohio town. There's 10,000 migrants have been sent to an Ohio town, and they're taking fucking ducks and chopping their heads off and cooking them. Wild ducks that are by the fucking fountain, or ducks that are pretty much used to people, and people are used to seeing them. And they're, you could get close enough to them to grab them, and then they fucking grab them and chop their head off, and dinner is served. What's on the menu? Roasted duck from the pond. Video, right?
Oh,
man.
Fucking hell.
Michelle Lee, the jackass idiot. Be nice or I'll boot you. What's FAFO? What is that?
Really? Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out. I like that one. Fuck around and find out. Yeah. So anyway, there's, but again, we're all victims. Let's just keep playing the victim. What else can we be victimized about there, please? What else is going on in the world? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't fucking kept up with it lately. Been too engrossed in blowhole fucking Betster and her
blowhole Betty.
Yeah. Her bullshit, which I'm hoping is coming to an end tomorrow. We'll see.
How about how are all these true crimers that don't even have a fucking clue what true crime really is? How are they all doing there? The Harshes and the video fuckingographers that see shit and fucking people that hear shit, see shit, say shit, know nothing, talk shit, think they're talking. It's incredible. Fucking amazing, man. We need more of that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those fucking things, right? Where I don't know. Like I look at the Sebastian case, right? And you've got a fucking social media platform divided on who done it. Right. And at the end of the day, I often wonder if this kid comes walking out of the fucking woods tomorrow and is like, "What up, y'all? I've been hanging out with the Haitians in Ohio eating fucking wild duck." What's everybody gonna do, right? Are they gonna look at each other and go, "Well, what the fuck did we just spend the past 6 months tearing each other and every fucking family member apart for?" Or are they gonna continue on?
Here, check this out.
I think it's like kind of odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day. And I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into... They flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, y'all can be comfortable with this. I don't know, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a.
So that's where that's coming from. This kid's at like a town board meeting or something.
I'm just fucking envisioning like strolling through the park and seeing somebody walk up and grab a duck with one hand and pull a knife out of his fucking pocket with the other and go, "Gotcha, bitch."
Gotcha. Unbelievable, man.
Oh fuck.
And this is why I say, okay, call me a racist. Did you notice his skin color in the video?
I didn't until I looked at the screen, and I mean, yeah.
And I've been trying to prod Rasmussen on Twitter and others to start prodding Rasmussen. Start polling the inner cities, you dumb fucks. Get it on record what these people are saying and who they want to vote for, so that they can't be cheated out of their vote.
Yeah.
Because I've always said any state with motor voter laws controls the fucking voters. They register the voters through the DMV. The DMV and the people involved in the DMV should have no access or any fucking inclination as to who's voting for who, for what, for when, or where, or even if you're going to vote. That agency has no business being connected to the voter rolls. And imagine all the people that they now have access to that don't vote. They know they don't vote, but yet they vote for them. And those people will never know if you voted for them or not. There's a big corruption within the motor voter law. I understood that only for corruption, but it makes no sense that I go to register my vehicle or get a license that you got to worry about whether I'm registered to vote.
Well,
right? It's none of your business.
So there's a question I've always wondered, because I remember the first time that I did that, right? And I was like, I can understand, I completely understand being registered to vote. What I never understood was why, the selecting the political party you're affiliated with was necessary at all.
Right.
That's what I don't understand, right? I can understand.
Should be secret.
Yeah, I mean, your vote is in a fucking booth, right? It's a private thing. It's your personal right. It's nobody's.
Right. It's like asking somebody what color they are when they go to register to vote. It's none of your business.
Right. Yeah.
Right. You're right. I agree with that. And these motor voter laws and these politicians, the politicians making the rules and running the elections is the fucking problem. There needs to be you have a rotating cast of characters and volunteers that come through, and you got to vet them and then let them do their job. And there needs to be checks and balances, and you move on with your life. But it just seems like you can't even get the guy at the oil change center to do that. You know what I mean? You can't even get people that you've known for years that you think are friends to pick something up for you without finding a way to scam you for fucking $100. Like $100 makes that much difference in anybody's life. It's fucking incredible, Cletus. It really is.
Oh, you're not wrong. You are not wrong.
I got a job where I bid, and I knew what the competitors' prices were, and so I knocked off $10,000 because I know the dude, right? And I'm like being showered with fucking money. I didn't know that was going to happen until I started ordering everything, and I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck do these people justify charging this much for the job? But I mean, poor me. There's nothing I could do about it. I'm just taking the money, right? But I don't even know, man. What are you supposed to do? I did what as right as I could be by offering you got something you need done. You got to get it done. You got 5 different people that gave you prices. You tell me what the lowest price is, and I give you $10,000 off. I'm being very, very nice and fair with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then come to find out that you're not going to know that, but I know it from that. I mean, I'm not going to go back and offer them, but should I go back and reduce the price even more? that's just fucking weird. I don't even know if that's a thing to do. But then on the other hand, why should I? I did what I thought to be the fairest thing. I had no idea the margins were this big.
Yeah.
And maybe they're just supposed to be, right? I don't know. Fuck, I did.
Everybody seems to bite the hand that feeds.
Yeah,
is what it boils down to. I've seen situations where organizations will be the middleman in a transaction, right? And the money's there. And the guy at the bottom will fabricate pricing for third-party services in order to get more money. Instead of just passing a price to the middleman, they will fabricate fucking price. They'll fabricate entire documents to show a particular price in order to get more fucking money. And it's like,
you
wow.
told me about the guy that did that to you guys.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, why?
Yeah, why
fucking do that? You're already fucking making money. Why have you got to fucking steal?
Yeah, it's a very strange time where we live, man. I mean, we can complain all we want about illegal immigration, but that example of Catholic Charities, guys don't do nothing about it. You all expect someone to do it for you, right?
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna, by voting in Trump, it's gonna fix it. Now, in all fairness, the situation exists because of the people you voted in. So it's almost insanity to think you're going to vote in someone that's going to fix it for you and put it back the way it should be. But
well, that's why I have somewhat of an issue when you say, well, you're not going to fix it with the current cycle. And I'm like, I understand the reality and the feasibility of being able to do that, but I mean, why fucking not now? Why can't it be fucking now? I mean, that's just kind of how I see it. I don't really know fuck all about Kamala enough to say somebody should or shouldn't vote for him, in my opinion. But what I do know is if she's not a legitimately voted upon candidate, why the fuck is she on the ballot? Because that's unfair to every fucking body.
Right. There's no argument for you from that because you're right. You're supposed to be voted into a certain level of position, and then if you get more votes than the other people competing against you, you move on to the grand prize, and then you got to fight for the grand prize. That's the way it works.
Well, and I'm just
this woman never got voted on. And this is why I say there's a huge rift in the Democratic Party, and no one's even talking about this. But Joe Biden did that to them. Joe Biden is the one that put Kamala Harris in there. See, they forced him out. They were all on his side, all on his side, all on his side. Then he got into a debate, and like Trump said, I can't respond to that. I don't know what he said, and I don't think he knows what he said either. And then they all turned on the guy because, Trump should have probably been a little bit fucking less obvious about it. I don't know. But anyway, they forced the guy out. It's like a coup. And what he does to fuck him back is he says, well, Kamala's going to take my place. And where's the Obamas on the campaign trail? Where's Hillary? Has anybody seen these people? You see them on some YouTube ads. Give me your nickels and dimes. But where are they filling stadiums and filling soccer fields and football fields and fucking running around the country in buses with fucking caravans of people cheering on Kamala? Where the fuck are the Clintons? Where are the Obamas? Where are the other Where are the Schumers? Where are these people? The Democratic Party is in a fucking internal fucking battle. They're fucked. And even though they were able to play it off to the public, there's massive internal disagreements in that party. That party's in serious trouble. That, to me, that's another reason why Kamala really doesn't stand a chance here. And it'll be a landslide for Trump. But the question that we all have to ask ourselves is, will we get from that side of the aisle anything that leads us down the right path? I don't know. It's kind of a fucking silly ass quagmire. I think we're much better off with Trump than we could be with an Obama or Biden or any Democrat. In all fairness, right?
You would think. You would fucking hope.
Well, no, you already know from experience, right? What he did made a difference. He came in and remember Obama's economy, how bad that was? People seem to forget how much gas was under Obama. Went up as high as fucking $5 up here, almost $6 a gallon under Obama.
Yeah.
Trump straightened that out. He did a lot of good things. Okay. You know, he's making points about auto factories and being built in Mexico by China, some of the biggest auto factories in the world across the border in Mexico. And he's going to tax them. He's going to put tariffs on those cars. He's not going to let them fucking take all our car manufacturing and put it in Mexico across the border. And you see, Biden ain't going to do anything to stop that.
Yeah.
Neither is Harris. You know, he wants to open up the free market so that you can get more cattle farmers competing and more cows out in the field, right? And they don't want to do that. They want to come in and regulate businesses' ability to price. That's what, you know, so yeah, the difference between these two is obviously one is communist and Marxist, and the other one's a free market guy. So we will benefit with Trump. There's no question about it. The problem is, though, will we, after his last 4 years, because he gets one shot here, 1 4-year term, right?
Yeah.
Then what are you going to be facing? What's the deal?
Well, and that's my thing, right? Is it's like I don't have any real doubt that it'll be better over the next 4 years should he win than it would be if Kamala won, or even as to what it's been the past 4 years. But ultimately, I'm tired of a 4-year cycle of shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I really, to be honest, I don't give a fuck what he does to improve the next 4 years. I'm more, what are you going to improve? What are you going to do to improve the next 40?
Right. Yeah, what trajectory can we all, and why? Yeah, that's the other thing too. There's never any, and I wish this thing with RFK and others that have joined on with Trump, that more pointing out that even people with different core values can simply come together on things that we all need. Right? So you could believe deeply in the fucking witchcraft, and I could believe deeply in Christianity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we all need roads, we all need food, we all need medicine, we all need school, right?
Yeah.
And we should be able to come together on what's best for all of us and leave our personal fucking beliefs and objective views to each of ourselves. Let's not use those as things to vote about.
Well,
I don't give a fuck who you sleep with, what they look like, what they're into. That just doesn't have any relevance on the fact that I would like to have a heated home with electricity and a road to drive down.
What's your views on executing public ducks for dinner?
Well, I think that you shouldn't kill ducks that have been somewhat domesticated, and they're running around in your parks, and we're stopping cars to let 40 chicks cross the fucking road behind ducks, right? You've seen that. They stop fucking traffic, and then while you're stopping traffic, it's like the time a Haitian will jump up out of the fucking ditch and start chopping up the fucking, right? Start chopping up the duck while you're like, oh my god, why did we just keep going and run them over? That would have been more humane than what they're doing to them now.
Well, I'm just waiting for somebody to go, what fucking right do you have to eat that duck? It's been here longer than you.
Dude, they're doing it to cats and dogs too. It's not just ducks, it's cats and dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, I look at that. My stepfather said this to me a long time ago. I said, do you eat Chinese food or He goes, no. I go, why not? He goes, they eat cats, domestic cats, what we have at domestic over here, and dogs. I go, so? He goes, do you think that changes when he said, do you think Italians stopped eating fucking sausage and spaghetti when they came here? He goes, how about the Krauts? Don't they eat fucking sauerkraut? I was like, yeah. He goes, that's why I don't eat them fucking people's food. He goes, because they could tell you it's chicken, it could be cat. You wouldn't know the fucking difference. And and then there's been cases where some of these places have been sued for serving cat. It's not unheard of for that to have happened in Chinese restaurants. I don't know if you've ever heard that happening, but it's happened here in New York.
I've heard of it. I've never seen anything written about it. I just thought it might have been like a urban legend or something. But yeah.
No. He said the other thing too that was interesting, because we had a pawn shop in the middle of the city, and he had an apartment behind it, and he said, you don't really see many dog catchers during the day, but out at night they're grabbing cats. And he says, and I always wonder, are those cats being sold to the restaurants? I'm like, damn, man, you're fucked up, bro. But You know, I mean, it's a question that should be asked, even though it's kind of a disgusting question. It's like, you know, who knows what the dog catcher's out catching cats at night for? Why is he catching dogs? I mean, they're called a dog catcher for a reason. I don't know. People say they would never eat cat, but you've eaten Chinese food. You may have already eaten cat and don't even know it. Right?
I'm not gonna say I would never eat a cat. Like if I were a Haitian that immigrated here, and the humanitarian thing they decided to do was ship me to a fucking community that couldn't handle me and the 19,999 others like me, to the point that I'm killing fucking public animals. I might eat a cat, but yeah, it's not something I would desire to do for sure.
I wouldn't hesitate. A cat or a dog or a cow or a fucking chicken or a fucking duck.
Yeah, we know your philosophy. We know your philosophy on your neighbors having pets.
To me, all fucking living mammals are there for our fucking pleasure and for our sustainability, right? And so you do in Rome what the Romans do, correct?
What is it you say about your neighbors having pets? Like, fuck yeah, get all of them.
Big dogs, man. Fuck them little dogs. I don't want a snack. I want a meal when the fucking shit goes to the fan. Right? I want to be on this side of the fan, chowing down on the fucking thigh of your fucking Great Dane. Not some fucking Chihuahua. Okay. I get it. People are just, fuck. I'd rather share a fucking good fucking golden retriever with friends than not.
You've heard of chicken and waffles. Have you ever had Great Dane and waffles?
But it sounds like a menu item for me. No, if the shit hits the fan, what side of the fan you want to be on? The one that fucking shit is flying away and hitting, or the side feeding the shit in? Yeah. I'm just saying, I hope it never in our lifetime or in any time at all ever gets to that. But you people are wrong to think that you wouldn't eat that meat. You don't have any fucking idea what you would do if all of this system collapsed. I mean, like I say, we're the smallest microbe in the universe doing some pretty fucking amazing things, but I'll let the electricity go out and just see what level of fucking hunger will drive you to.
No, that's
your humanity. I love dogs. Yeah, you're gonna find your favorite flavor of dog too if everything goes to shit. Believe me. You might be partial to Chihuahua. I don't know. Well, what say you there, Cletus?
I don't know.
Listen.
Right. I was just going to say that's a fucked concept, but it's no worse than when you really think about what the fuck they're trying to do with getting us convinced that bug protein is better than meat.
Well, what did Washington's army do when it fucking got caught in the fucking snow? Didn't it eat the horses that were holding all its equipment?
Yeah.
How many of them people you think loved horses? Probably had a different type of love for them afterwards. They probably continued to eat horse the rest of their life. Right? I'm just saying, people say I'll starve. I'm telling you, you're not going to starve. If the option's there, you're going to eat. I don't know how your life isn't more important than a Chihuahua. Cletus? I'm talking to the chat there, Barbara Boss or Barbie Boss or whatever. Barbie is Boss. I wonder if boss would sacrifice themselves over a fucking pit bull. I don't get it.
No, I can't say. I'm partial to our dogs, but I can't say I would sacrifice myself for Clue or Baby Clue over a dog.
No, sure. I think I'd make sure they ate it.
But some people, they are legitimate family members, and I mean, hey, whatever.
Well, they would die to protect you from an intruder, right?
Yeah.
Well, they would just die to keep you from starving to death. What's the difference? It's not cannibalism. They're a mammal. That's all, right?
Yeah.
Just cook them to 165 degrees and make sure that the thermometer is accurate.
And just make sure that if you are a pet owner, keep them away from Ohio and
keep them away from the greater New York area with SARS roaming around. Believe me, a dog will eat you.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, let's not forget what will happen if you're down for the count.
Clue
And there's
said
nothing around to
it.
eat. Okay.
Clue said it. She said, "So will a cat," and that's true.
There you go.
Like stories of that happening.
Yeah.
Cats eating their own.
Yeah. You know, come on. It's survival of the fittest. And if you think that the cat or dog is more fit than you, then, you know, you might as well bow out now. You're in the wrong fucking, you belong to the wrong fucking species. I was going to say, I did mention something early. They're now starting to show, or they're at least starting to talk about resonance frequency and plasma. What you may not know, or many in the audience may not know, is plasma is the fourth state of
Matter.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it can be manipulated with resonance. And now they're starting seriously manipulated. Okay. The sun is a ball of plasma, they claim.
Right.
The aurora borealis is a display of plasma. We can create plasma. Remember I said we need to electrify the world?
Yeah.
That's the whole basis why you need to electrify the world, is to actually capture and put plasma to use. So that would be the main reason to electrify the world, is to then tap in. If you looked at any of the plants where they're trying to make fusion, they're called a tokamak.
No.
And the one thing with plasma is it can be manipulated by magnetic fields. And plasma is a state of matter that's unlike any other state of matter. It's more a state of energy than it is matter. It's like, you know, Einstein said E equals mc squared, right?
Right.
Energy and matter are one and the same. So if you can manipulate plasma on its electron, you know, it's electrically charged, and if you can manipulate that, you should be able to manipulate all kinds of different things. So if you ever look up a fusion reactor, it's called a tokamak, and you'll see a toroidal, which is a donut shaped sphere of plasma being contained within the magnetic field that can reach millions of degrees. And you wonder, how can those millions of degrees not just melt the entire fucking magnetic containment system to the ground, right?
Yeah. And
it's the magnetic field that helps manipulate the plasma. And then you use resonance frequencies so it's part of what Tesla was trying to show us. But now with the introduction and tying it to plasma, it starts to come on with a science that may explain many things, like the pyramid, and how our ancient ancestors were able to manipulate materials and matter themselves because they understood how to use plasma. So there's now they're starting to really talk about it. Like if you go and to try to find some scientific like papers on resonance and some of the stuff Tesla was doing, there's very little out there. But if you want to go, talk about particles, and you want to talk about this or other topics that we consider modern science, physicists, that stuff is by the truckload, fucking documents about it. But the plasma and resonance combination and working together in the science, even though it's a fairly good sized field, it never really gets discussed mainstream. And I suspect that's because that's where so many answers of energy and so many answers of what we can create and can do are hidden in plain sight. So I was watching a bunch of that over the weekend. It's kind of interesting what they're doing.
No, it is interesting. Because I haven't heard anything about it till now.
Yeah, there's a guy that does a lot of ancient. I forget his name. Maybe I have it right here. If you hang on a second. No, I don't think I got it. Let me see. I might have something worth playing here for the end of the stream. Oh, this is kind of worth playing. All right, this is worth listening to. So, share screen. You may have heard this before, but folks, this will probably be one of the most valuable and instrumental pieces of education that you're going to get in just a few minutes. Okay, this short period of time will provide you with a complete wealth of valuable fucking information. Are you ready, Cletus?
I'm ready.
wonder just who is jack shit. We find ourselves at a loss when someone says, "You don't know jack shit." Well, thanks to my genealogy efforts, you can now respond in an intellectual way. Jack Shit is the only son of Aw Shit. Aw Shit, the fertilizer magnate, married Oh Shit, the owner of Knee Deep in Shit. They had one son, Jack. In turn, Jack Shit married No Shit. The deeply religious couple produced 6 children: Holy Shit, Giva Shit, Full of Shit, Bullshit, and the twins, Deep Shit and Dip Shit. Against her parents' objections, Deep Shit married Dumb Shit, a high school dropout. After being married 15 years, Jack and No Shit divorced. No Shit later married Ted Sherlock. She wanted to keep her previous name. She was then known as No Shit Sherlock. Meanwhile, Dipshit married Loda Shit, and they produced a son with a rather nervous disposition named Chicken Shit. Bullshit, the prodigal son, left home to tour the world. He recently returned from Italy with his new Italian bride, Pizza Shit. Now, when someone says, "You don't know jack shit," you can correct.
Well, there you have it, folks. It's probably the most educational, factually based piece of information that will stick with you now until the end of time. And you can thank the Your Ass Hurts News Network for being so. We're very focused on educating the public.
That's right. Educational format, educational content for you. On a night.
Well, we used to have a health desk, but that's fluttered and failed. I don't know if what happened. And we had a help desk, and we used to have third world fucking technicians that are well known for fucking the stream up and using toilet seats for tables for lunch, which is pretty clever. And I have to say I found that one interesting. Anyway, Cleve, it's been a great show. We've been in here an hour and 2 minutes.
Orgasms improve heart health.
Orgasms improve heart health.
There you go.
Holy fuck. Well, for you chronic
health.
masturbators, you got a long life ahead of you.
A health desk tidbit for you at the end of the stream.
Right. Yikes. Clue! The hell are you doing, Clue?
Playing my game.
Your what game?
Match something or another.
Match.com. Cletus.
No.
Cletus? I thought we were supposed to have a wedding over the summer here.
Oh,
What?
Did you find a lucky girl?
Well, I'm very, 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 very content that you would consider the girl lucky. That's awesome. Cletus, that's like the highest level of compliment right there.
I mean, hey.
I can't even say anything more negative. I can't even go down the road of being rude or even smartass now.
I mean, look, you're above me because I'm apparently destined to forever be just engaged.
Well, there you have it, folks. Engaged or not engaged? That is the question.
What?
Lucky or unlucky? That is the question. All right. Well, we've had enough of that nonsense. Anyway, you guys go find jack shit. You can share the stories, tell your friends, share it with your neighbors, coworkers, and your boss. Your boss is probably one of the shits anyway, so he'll be happy to hear his fucking genealogy.
Yeah.
In the meantime, well, from the top of Clock Tower in Beijing, China, sitting on top of the world-renowned Leg of My Balls Convention Center. It's good to have you here, Cletus. We'll see you again. Everyone else, good night. And, go back and join the 5.62 billion dickheads. See ya.
See ya.